Hello everybody and welcome back to round number 7. My name is Philip Schulz and I'm joined by Captru, also known as Marcus Spataro.
Hello everybody, how is everyone doing? So yes, we are here for round 7, correct?
Yep.
And yes, we're already halfway through. We started the stream a bit late, but overall everything is proceeding very, very fast. There don't seem to be any problem. And obviously everyone is playing pick around, so they'll be done by the time.
Yep. And as we mentioned, peek around, we will have another one on stream. And the interesting thing about this is that the players, Kevin Kruger, and I think he played abilities out for the first two, but then he switched to Dragapult, still had an amazing run, made it into day 2, I think, at like top 32, top 64, around the border of those two. And so he already has 30 points for our Limitless Invitational, and he switched again. Seems like
Indeed.
Yeah, Dragapult worked out well, but seems like he found something even better. And he's rocking Pikachu Zekrom and is at a 5-1 record currently, I believe. So
And I think this is exactly what you want to see from a player that is doing so well at the Limitless Qualifier. You want someone that is adapting, that is able to play different decks as well, playing different metas, different opponents. And I'm pretty sure Kevin has covered all of these criteria, to be fair. And
yeah, exactly.
Starts with a quick ball. He started just not the best hand, but he does have a Dedenne to start it off. The opponent instead has a really good start, but went first. So he probably needs to respond to this with some aggression. If he will be able to, to full blitz on this first turn, I'm pretty sure he can set back the game because right now the opponent is looking pretty strong. So there we go. Tapu Koko is is eyeing it up. Does start with a with 2 switches, I think, and a speed energy, but he does play that Mew and that Wobbuffet as well. 2 very interesting decks that I really like to see in a Pikarom. Let's see where this goes.
And let's see. Quick ball here, it already looks like a pretty decent hand. I wonder what he's going for, and it looks like he wants to go all the way, going for the Pikachu Zekrom. And I'm not sure, did see any Boltons they might. Yeah, actually, yeah, it looks like they are priced, so.
Yeah. Not a great start. He also decides to discard that Mew. Do you agree with this?
I mean, it's interesting for sure. I mean, I would assume it's attack for exactly this matchup, so it's curious to see him just discard it. But I guess he didn't have too many other options and was hoping for something better. And yeah, it looks like we're having some issues with this. Kevin's internet connection doesn't seem to be super amazing, but yeah. At least we're getting the image, and just like with Avi, I'm just really glad that we're getting to see him play at all, since, yeah, he has some shaky internet connection. It's from pretty far away, but still, he's a great player and had an amazing performance so far, so I'm really glad that we are seeing the tournament from his perspective.
Indeed. And we saw the start with the Dedenne, actually.
And,
totally catastrophe. Absolute catastrophe. Threw a boss orders off of the Dedenne while he had a 2 Professor Research. In the end, maybe in that extra card it was something, but overall a pretty undecent hand. So just needs to pass. He does boss order up that Raichu and Raichu, but this is definitely not looking good for him.
Yeah, for sure. This is a really bad hand, and especially now when I see his list, he's playing a pretty low energy count compared to other lists. I mean, it's 13, so it's still kind of high.
Yeah, a lot, but
yeah. Yeah, we saw players like Lida, Jens, like Julius earlier on stream as opponent playing 16 energies. So yeah, 13 is kind of low, and destroying a lot of energies and nothing else with his list is kind of unfortunate. And yeah, definitely will put him on the back foot. Also, his 1 Bolton is priced, which can be pretty huge when you're stumbling in the early game.
Indeed. And instead, the opponent look at that, already 4 energies without doing anything, basically. Just taking the knockout on this Marshadow. It's just 1 price, but if you're able to take a knockout on you could even finish with a tag ball, to be fair. By taking the knockout that Pikarom and that the Energy X. We also saw Kevin discarded that Mew before, but it does play 1 copy of Ordinary Rod, so I might be able to retrieve it. But look at that hand, it is definitely not looking good.
It's
as well, he put Dene in the active spot, attached to lightning speed, and now he has no way to retreat.
Yeah, I found one
So,
interesting thing that he did last year was not using this Tapu Koko, because it put him in a vulnerable spot where he couldn't attack next turn if his Marshadow got knocked out, or if he didn't draw any switching card, and yeah, that's exactly what happened. So maybe using that Tapu Koko in the last turn to guarantee himself attack this time might have been better. But yeah, at least one good thing for him, he didn't attack with his full blitz in the last turn. He only managed to use this Boltund. So yeah, and still no full blitz coming down, but already a 3 price deficit for Kevin, and this is looking really,
indeed,
really rough.
the games look sealed already. The opponent as well playing very consideratively. He's just deciding when to attack and what to attack with. This bolting, take the knockout every single turn. So there's no point in just putting a tag team or something more juicy in the active spot. Right now, we finally see the speaker on being charged up, but if the opponent is just able to respond with maybe even a lone Raichu for the full effect with attack, switch, and energy and a Thunder Mountain, that will definitely be the end of the game. So let's see actually what he goes for here. He could go for attackable, take the knockout.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah,
with
true.
Electro Power, but I'm not sure that's the best
Yeah,
thing
that
right
might.
now.
I think it might be the best thing he can do.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
because otherwise it's just so scary. This full blitz doesn't accomplish anything, and Patton was already able to hit 160 in the last turn, so he would be able to put on a lot of pressure and maybe even get the one shot this turn.
He's already working with very little things. He has one Electro Power. Is there the second one? Is there a Volkner? There's actually the Dennis, so he's gonna dig for it. Let's see if he draws this. If he doesn't, then maybe there is an opening, but nope, that's
nope.
Electro Power.
Yep.
Just as I say it.
Double Electro Power and the knockout. Kevin with a very unfortunate start, not getting to stabilize at all, and just like that, he lost a quick Pikachu Zekrom mirror. And not the most enjoyable round, not a lot of back and forth play, just hoping to top deck something but not managing to. So yeah, nothing we can do about that, but the good thing about this is that this was a very fast round, and so the odds are high that we will be able to provide you with another game from round number 7. So we will go to a quick break, and we will either come back with another game from round number 7, or we will have to go to a lunch break, but I will definitely make sure to put that clearly on stream so you know what's going on.
Make money today selling unused Pokemon trading card game online codes. Download Sell Poker Codes app now and get the very best rates. Simply scan your codes or copy and paste them, and the app will sort them by set and price automatically. Track your submissions to see how much you'll earn. Once you submit your codes, all you have to do is sit back and wait for your funds. Application is free to use. Sell codes now.
Hello everybody, just as promised, we are right back with another game from round 7. Here we have Stéphane Ivanoff, a great player from France, very well accomplished. And I think right now the top ranking player on Limitless points, like overall, not about this tournament in particular. And he is
not in our
playing,
series, but
yeah, not in our series, but overall he's done so much thing. He won so many tournaments, won an international as well. Placed very well at other tournaments he went in. Great player overall, and very, very fun person to be around. So you're actually playing the Dragapult, probably the most interesting deck that we speculated about. He didn't do much sparks in the previous tournament, but maybe this time is the time to redeem itself.
I mean, it did manage to get 2 top 8 finishes. It went out in the fastest top 8 game I have ever witnessed, of course.
But, look at the Stellar. Oh my god.
But before it was fun.
Look at that. Stellar Wish. He just Stellar Wished and found 5 Pokemon just so as we were praising it. He just showed Dragapults.
But his
Oh
hand
my-
not looking too shabby anyways. Has the Mysterious Treasure for a Dragapult and an Energy, and what's important is that he's going first.
Yeah.
And
So he
Dragapult,
does have the energy,
yeah.
luckily.
yeah, we've talked about this earlier when we had Dragapult on stream, but the deck did have quite some issues in the Pikachu matchup
Yeah.
in our last qualifier.
Indeed.
And so we're seeing a lot of Dragapults, including power plants, just like Stéphane doing, just like we saw earlier on stream with Gabor, and both players also included Mew. So yeah, there's a lot of text going on for the matchup, and going first is also very important to get the first attack, and yeah, just Dragapult being a deck that needs to that needs to evolve, always wants to go first. Just
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Dragapult as well is a deck that hasn't been used at its max potential up until now. I think people are still looking for the best, for the best way to streamline it.
Yeah,
But at the
for
same
sure.
time, it does have good, it does have a good side. But I think if just another VMAX comes out and it's gonna be and like it's better than Dragapult, but it has the same HP, then it's gonna be overshadowed by it. I think it's a very temporary deck, and I think it has a good spot in this meta. It just needs to find its particular niche that works for it.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing deck, of course, and it's quite new. Yeah, always hard to optimize the game, and just as we are talking about this, we see a lot of different builds. We saw James, who made top 4 last time with the Giant Bomb version. We see Stéphane now with the Malama version. We earlier saw Gabo on stream with the Crushing Hammer version, so
Yeah,
quite a lot of different approaches, but what they have in common is that all of them are doing quite good. Stéphane being at a 5-1 record, of course. Gabor
indeed.
having won earlier, moving on to a 5-1 record as well. So definitely an amazing deck, and yeah, I think it's just a really cool attack, and being able to split the damage and hitting multiple targets at once has historically always been good in the TCG, because
Indeed.
yeah, you're doing the same damage as the big hitter, but you're more efficient at this. So when you're facing one Prizers, you're not wasting your damage doing 200 against a 100 HP Pokemon. Instead, you're targeting multiple Pokemon. And yeah, so Dragapult is, as expected, pretty strong. And also what I think is that Dragapult is the best at utilizing the ScoopUpNet engine. And I think ScoopUpNet is probably the strongest card from the newest set, and not many people would disagree, I guess.
Definitely, ScoopUpNet is really challenged how we perceive the non-GX or non-V decks, because they've been pretty weak overall in the past. I would say 6 months. I think as soon as even more, to be fair, because just they've been overshadowed so much by tag teams. But ScoopUpNet once again is able to just loop up your Pokemon up. Try to you have Mewtwo, you have Giratina, which were decks I originally will play it. But the best thing you can do overall is just Jirachi, to be fair. Just drawing more cards off of it.
Yeah, sure. And yeah, now we'll see if Samuel is able to get going early, because one of Dragapult's weaknesses, of course, is that it's and the double tails on Stadium Nav. To this day, I don't comprehend why they put the flip on Stadium Nav.
Because should have been just a tutor, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no advantage in getting 2 Stadium, because
exactly, right?
yeah, you can only play 1, so it's basically like, yeah, there's a 25% fail chance for no reason, and
it is probably the reason is that they wanted to nerf the idea of getting just a tutor for a stadium, because since Prism stadiums are in the meta, or they were in the set, some previous sets, they probably felt like it would mean too strong. So I think a tutor for a stadium right now would not hurt the meta, to be fair.
Exactly.
Obviously it would make Picrom much more stronger than it is right now, but they have other ways to set up, and it's a bit weird, I would say.
A couple of list leaders also are not including it at all, not liking to flip coins, I would guess. And
that's fair.
And generally I just really dislike balancing by putting coin flips on it. I mean, most players would probably agree.
I call it lazy balancing, because there are so many other ways in which you can do it. And Pokemon has not, I think it did not explore yet this sphere of balancing the meta, because usually it's just flip or discard cards from your hand. There is
Yeah.
much more to that. There is
I think
things that have not been explored yet.
Yeah, in earlier days we had a lot of cards that were that had additional effects when you were behind in prizes, but yeah, those are not that popular these days anymore. I guess the control just became a much bigger archetype, so the game
Indeed,
designers removed that being behind mechanic because it's just too strong for control decks.
exactly. I cannot really think of a game or like decks that were like as we perceive controls today, how they're built today, that were in previous metas. Like the most control thing you could have done was like blocking your opponent's items, but that wasn't really control. That was just fair meta. Like it didn't feel as oppressive as it is, I would say, at least from a personal perspective,
Yep.
as it is today. Because today, like when you're playing against control, you're like, oh my god, I would like to play the game, but then you
And
don't.
huge find for Stéphane. I was
Yep.
about to say Samuel had a really weak turn one. I mean, not really weak. He got 3 energies into play. Don't get me wrong.
He
But
could have gotten the full blitz turn
Exactly.
one. That's the main thing.
Yeah, but it's like the third only the third strongest thing that he could do because he didn't get any attack off. So full
Yeah,
blitz
that
of
was
course
pretty
is the
sad for him.
best. Yeah, and just electrify from Bolton is pretty decent as well. And just doing nothing is really not good.
Yeah,
And
putting up
so,
the 10
yeah.
up as well is like it's a consolation prize so you don't leave your Pikarom in the active. But at the same time, right now, that he actually decides to not take the mysterious treasure. Very interesting, I would say.
Yeah, I guess Stéphane.
Went for the
Op-
Symphia.
Yeah.
I do like that he went for a bit the safer play. Right now, attacking with the Dragapult could have been massive, but you can also attack with the Dragapult V if you want. It's a bit risky,
Yeah.
but in fact, he decides just to pass. But at the same
Exactly.
time, you know, Pikarom deals 150, we need 2 Electro Power. But yeah, I really like this play. Dragapult is a very slow deck. It needs to have the plays already laid out for it. So,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I think it's interesting, Stéphane not trying to capitalize on Samuel's weaker opening, but I think the reason for this is probably his Nihilego. So
Yes.
he's totally fine just sacrificing this Jirachi because it will enable him to copy Attack Bolt GX
Indeed.
later on to do a lot of damage with a 1 prizer.
Indeed.
So yeah.
I would like to see a tag bolt for the full effect, possibly by Samuel, to take a knockout as well on the Nihilego. It does look like a bit of a waste, but Nihilego can be very, very dangerous, especially since
For
Stefan
sure.
deck does not play many main GX attackers and obviously a DGX attack can turn around any game.
Yeah, and also Stéphane has a boss's order here, so if Samuel is not taking the aggression this turn, then Stéphane will be able to drag up that Pikachu Zekrom. So yeah, he has been planning ahead. He knows that there's not too much threatening stuff going on for Samuel, and Stéphane doesn't care about being the first attacker. He just wants to attack the right Pokemon, so he's valuing just attacking this Pikachu Zekrom.
That's the switch, and obviously that's one of the weaknesses about Pikachu and Zekrom. The deck lights up as soon as the Pikachu Zekrom attacks, but that means that you expose your main attacker and your main engine to the opponent deck. And Pikachu and Zekrom being the weakest of the tag team in terms of HP, it's very, very dangerous. So we go Thunder Mountain, laying down a bit superfluous, I would say, maybe just to turn off the power plant. Let's see if he has a follow-up place for this. Doesn't look very justified to me.
Yeah, the Thunder Mountain is not really doing much, and afterwards, let's see. I'll check up if he's playing any other stadiums. But if Stéphane is playing multiple power plants, and this is the only stadium that Samuel has, then this could cause a very awkward late game for him.
The Thunder Mountain, I do not enjoy being able to play there as well. These energies on the Pikarom are a bit risky, but obviously against the Dragapult VMAX, you do not expect to be knocked out in one hit. So let's see what the Stéphane is able to do here. Gets rid of the Thunder Mountain. Very well done. And as well, the Symphony that he took the last turn, you can see here the skill of the player coming out, already thinking about the plays ahead. And also grabs a Mew, which I really, really enjoyed to see here. And as well, the Symphia doesn't find the Dragapult VMAX, however. This could be very, very bad for him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, especially since this Dragapult didn't become the active Pokemon this turn. So it won't be able to attack for 140, just...
yeah, it can do the Justice Assault, so that's gonna be a bit dangerous.
I think
Yeah, he needs to think about this because as well the Picrom can knock it out next turn with just 2 Electro Powers, and if it does so, the Nikki Lego plan a bit falls apart. Pretty unfortunate, but you know, since it's a semi-Malamar deck, I can see why sometimes it's bricking not working properly. But he's 5-1, he's 5-2 as well, so props to him.
yes. So just 60 damage from Stéphane here. That's certainly not amazing. Certainly not
Definitely
what he
not.
wants. And yeah,
Size actually to retreat. It's a bit weird to retreat with Dragapult V because you're always looking forward to attach energies and like to line up your energies correctly. So it's never a full feel good moment.
yeah, and this is especially awkward since this means that Stéphane is losing that Nihilego option again.
Oh my god.
Oh boy, just another 5 useless card. And yeah, this is huge. Stéphane opted to retreat because 60 damage isn't doing anything, and he knows that that his opponent, that Samuel, would be able to just use an Electro Power and get a Tech Bolt knockout on the Dragapult, or get double Electro Power and get a Full Blitz knockout, going down to 3.
Indeed.
And yeah, that would render Nihilego useless as well. So anyways, Nihilego will be useless, but this way Stéphane's at least not losing a Dragapult. And yeah.
You can also just put the Dragapult V and chip away damage on the Picrom. It's not really what you want to do, but it can work. I think the best play here for the Picrom player would be to find the boss orders and start pinning down, maybe even taking a knockout on the Mew, possibly sealing away the game in case there's a Dragapult VMAX. But then we see actually a Marshadow. Let's see if he actually goes for the Reset King Hole. I'm not sure I like this because we know Stéphane plays more than one power plant.
Stéphane only plays one. He plays double.
Oh, he only plays one. Oh, okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so he knows that the Marshadow is not that useful anymore.
Yeah, so that's fair. Boss orders as well here. Perfect play here, taking away these Mew. Let's remember that he needs to do the 150. Tackle Bolt does not work even if the Mew is in the active, remember? So as long as he takes the knockout here and attaches even more energies, continuing to put up the pressure, it's going to be pretty hard here for Stéphane to come back.
Yeah, that's... If he still has energies left in his deck, that Bolton will be able to take a knockout on the next turn.
Yep.
So it's looking pretty rough, I would say. His opponent's only playing 13 energies? Yeah, he's only playing 13 energies. Okay, actually, so he doesn't have... I don't think he has much more.
He decides actually to promote the Bolt, and that's fair. Obviously, this way you're protecting the Pokemon with the most energies that you have.
Yeah.
And as well, you already have the Bolton in the active in case, I don't know, some other shenanigans happen. But yeah, it's not looking great for Stéphane here.
Yeah,
let's see what
he's behind. Like, the good thing for Stéphane, however, is that by not using Full Blitz there, Samuel showed him that he doesn't really have any more energies in his deck. Otherwise, he would have wanted to make his Dragapult, his Bolton even more dangerous, and that won't be a thing now. And the second thing is that Samuel still hasn't taken very meaningful prizes.
Definitely not.
Yet. Yeah. However, still no Dragapult VMAX for Stéphane, and not even a switching card, so...
just a Stellar Wish, well, that's fine, but... Oh
yeah.
my god, he also needs to find a switching card now. Not good at all.
Yeah, he needs 2 cards of 1 Stellar Wish, so he will probably have to go for something like a Dedenne.
But there's no Mew in play. It's gonna be super dangerous right now.
For sure, so very, very awkward for Stéphane.
Pretty unfortunate. And here we see actually sort of the weakness of Dragapult, as we said. It's a deck that needs setup, and any deck that needs setup sometimes just, trips on itself. Doesn't really work. And there's not much you can do. Stéphane did all the correct play, the turn in which he decided to take the Symphony of the Stellar Wish rather than the Mysterious Treasure. Maybe he would have the Dragapult VMAX set up right now, but possibly the opponent could have been able to respond with a knockout. We don't really know. So I think Stéphane went for the safest play right now, but it's not looking great for him at this point.
At all. It's looking really unfortunate. Like, Samuel might even be able to end the game. Okay, actually, not like this. If he had a boss order and an Electro Power, then he would have been able to.
Yeah, then he would have been able to.
But yeah, at least for Faulkner means that Stéphane survives this turn.
Actually, no, he would have needed, because the Dragon Bolt V has 210, but still, like,
Yeah,
it would have been
Electro
basically
power
a doom
boss order,
count.
yes.
Yeah, it would have been a doom count. Because he still have 4 prizes, he would have not been able to win on that turn, but then he would be able to win on the next turn.
Oh yeah,
170
true.
damage on the Dragon Bolt V Max. It's a death sentence at that point.
Yeah.
And the
My
Bolton
bad.
V, I think, will get thicker. 230 HP.
Of course, Dragon Bolt only gives up 3 prizes if it's actually a VMAX and not only
Yeah,
a V.
exactly,
So
right.
yeah, there's my thinking mistake. But of course, still an amazing position for Samuel. And
Just as we were saying, like, there are some mechanics that were not really explored up until now into Pokemon. And I think the VMAX mechanic was a bit lazy, I would say. Like, it was just 3 prizes. We already seen that with Tag Team. I would have liked something like skip a turn or something very, very endearing for the player.
Yeah.
There we go.
I mean, I personally did like the normal GXs because they were evolved Pokemon as well.
Right.
There was a big versatility, and I think GX attacks were quite an interesting mechanic. But I also don't mind VMAXs too much. I think they are fine as they are.
Yeah, it was something reminiscent to the level X, with the difference that level X
Yep.
has some different rules, only on the active, etc. But
yeah, I think they're mainly like megas, just with fixed. And I think that Sword Shield is basically an attempt to redo XY, but just fix it. So
we see, like, in the next set we'll have the new Seismitoad with the Weird
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of similar card designs, but with changes. So like Mega Pokemon don't require Spirit Links anymore. Shaman EX can only be used once per turn. Mega Skyfield only works for one type, stuff like that. So a lot of similar designs, but feels like it's actually fixed.
Yeah, and that I really enjoy, to be fair. So we see Scoop Up Net here. It would be nice if he could remove even the Nihilego off the board, but there's a reset stamp. That's very good. Let's remember also that's the
every good comic starts with a reset stamp, so that's good.
Exactly. How many games were won by green decks because they reset stamp their opponents back in the day? And right now we still see our reset stamp is still a valuable card. You do have Marnies, but sometimes you just need to put your opponent to those 3 or 2 cards that can really hinder them. And we see also Professor Research, second Dragon Bolt VMAX. That's very massive too. So right now I think Stéphane needs to, Samuel needs to knock out this Dragon Bolt VMAX. And how many energies does he have in play actually?
He has 9 energies in play, so he's hitting for 280, so he would still require another energy and an electric power, and I don't believe that's even left in his deck anymore.
I think so as well.
Yeah. So at least that's going in Stéphane's favor. However, he will have a really hard time dealing with this. I think his best bet would have been if he was able to hit the Pikachu Zekrom last turn. Because then he could just 2-shot it, and if he were able to take a knockout on it, he would take a massive amount of energies off the board.
So it would have helped him so much, but unfortunately was not able to connect with that attack. And a bit slow, but it's still doable, and this is the power of a VMAX Pokemon. But there we go, another Malon completely negates basically one of Stéphane's turn. But he also left with just 1 card in hand.
Yeah. But still, Samuel pretty much running away with this game, and now he's probably gonna able to just tag bolt and damage both Dragon Bolt VMAX. With a really awkward position.
Actually, decides to go for the
interesting.
I would say your play was definitely the better one. Like, damaging both of them would have been basically you won the game at that point. But leaving this Dragon Bolt VMAX at 10 HP is not fantastic. Well, for the fact that you need to knock it out and you don't have any pingers, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, he still has his tag board this way, so he's also has game on board pretty much if Stéphane is not able to like get his Mew back.
Indeed.
And so I guess this is definitely I guess this is a pretty good play as well. Since Stéphane's not playing any Pokemon recovery, so
so that's fine too. That's fine too, definitely. But we see here actually. This turn, I don't think he can even take a knockout nor put some relevant damage. Stéphane is still thinking, still see if he has any option. He could put I
think he needs Boss's Order and just drag up like Zeraora.
Try to spread. That's his best way out of this. There's the boss orders.
Yeah, I guess
As long as the opponent does not draw an energy, or even if he draws an no, if he draws an energy, it's over. If he draws a switch, it's over.
Yeah. But energies should be gone, right? So at least
Mhm. Yeah.
that's it. And when switching cards, also a couple of them are gone.
Yeah.
So not too many outs for for Samuel, but of course Stéphane needs like 3 bosses order to win this. He needs to bosses order Zeraora, then bosses order Eldegoss, and then bosses order Pikachu and take the knockout.
Indeed, and a switch every turn to like keep it up or an energy as well. Yeah, it's gonna be
that's
pretty
not.
tough.
Yeah, actually, that's not even enough damage.
Yeah.
He needs like 3 bosses order and double Zigzagoon.
Yeah.
To take the knockout on this Pikachu Zekrom. So
looks a bit
very,
like an insurmountable wall.
And he doesn't even play Zigzagoon.
So he doesn't have the tools right now, it seems, to take this game away. But let's just see if he's able to pull something off. It's a Dragon Put VMAX, Max Phantom. Damage into the Dana is fine. The Zeraora would have been pretty much the same. But yeah.
I guess his best bet is to just take knockouts on the 2 Dedenne and the Eldegoss. So with enough bosses order, that might be possible.
Yeah, probably an amount more than it's allowed to play, but okay.
Wow. Yeah, that would be a you have a good deck moment for me personally. The opponent just top decks immediately for the game. And yeah, there we see the knockout.
Gracious.
And Stéphane going down to 5-2. His opponent Samuel going up to 6-1, having already 1 foot in day 2. Just needs 3 more wins out of the last 6 rounds, which should be manageable considering he's 6-1 after 7 rounds. So getting 3 out of 6 should be definitely manageable. And yeah, that was it from round number 7. I hope you did enjoy it. We had an uncharacteristically long game for this for this format. So I hope you enjoyed our rants about cards and designs and the format in general, as the game was relatively slow paced and there was not too much to comment on. And yeah, for now we will go to a quick break and check back if we... Oh no, actually this is the second game from round number 7 already. Yeah, so there won't be anything going on anymore. So we will go to lunch break after this. I hope you enjoyed the stream so far. I'm really glad that we finally live after so much delay in the earlier games. And so stay tuned for round number 8. It will come up after a 1 hour lunch break. So I will put a message on screen that shows you when we will be back. And yeah, so grab yourself something to drink, grab yourself something to eat, and get ready for the final round.
Bye bye.